Hello everybody, welcome to another video here on Fantastic Talks. It's been a while since I've done a discussion video lately, because lately I've been doing like playthrough videos on Dragon Ball Z and Spider-Man and whatnot, and I just thought it was about time just to sort of go back to going back to discussion videos. So before I sort of go back to playthrough videos, and what I really wanted to talk about today was we had some Dragon Ball Z Kakarot news lately. By the way, I have shaved recently, as you can see. I may have a baby face going on because I dressed up as Luffy this year for Halloween recently. So there's a picture. I'll put up a picture to show you the costume. And obviously Luffy doesn't have a beard, so I had to shave all that off. I look like such a child. But anyways, yes, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. There's been some news that we know we're getting DLC Season Pass 2. We're getting Bardock. We're getting a Bardock's standalone storyline, which is really cool. Really awesome that they're sticking to the original special for that as well. The trailer looks so good. Really excited to play that story. Planet Vegeta looks really cool. Yeah, looking forward to that. But I wanted to delve into the recent news that supposedly has been leaked. So we know for Season Pass 2, we know we're getting 2 extra story bits or whatever it's meant to be, but there's also a rumor that there's also Season 3 after this as well, because credit to DBS Hype on Twitter for this, supposedly it's going to be a Xenoverse 2 type of deal, where cause obviously Xenoverse 2, that's been out for 5 years, maybe more, and they are constantly bapping out content for it, you know. So apparently DBZ Kakarot might get that treatment. Normally I disagree with that sort of stuff, just because Xenoverse 2 got a bit tedious for me and some other people I know. Kind of would be better off just making a sequel, because it gets boring that they might run out of ideas and whatnot. So, and there could have been characters could have saved for the next game, blah blah blah. But but at the same time, I'm a bit biased because the content that they have brought out for Xenoverse 2 has been really fun. Same for Fighters, that had like 3 season passes, and we got a bunch of good characters out of that. So it was. I guess I shouldn't expect any less for Kakarot to have that. But I'm sure they got some really cool ideas ahead. With Bardock being the first one to next come out. I keep seeing people wanting GT for this next season pass. Now, the problem with that is, one, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is mainly for like canonized, at least semi-canonized content in the Dragon Ball series. So, and GT is obviously not canon. And to add to that, they've said, because at the end of the day, if you remember way back, Bandai Namco promised that it will just relive Dragon Ball Z based storylines, so like the canon Dragon Ball storylines, way back when Kakarot I think was coming out, and obviously Bardock technically counts here. So I'm surprisingly, I am shocked that they're going with the original special, because in some way it's technically not, because of Dragon Ball Minus, and now that sort of expanded that in Resurrection F in DBS Broly. So hopefully this game will sort of mix the two somehow. So the events of the original special will somehow lead up to Dragon Ball Minus. I don't know. But it's still semi-canon in a way. So we had so whatever had Z in the name, we had Battle of Gods, we had Resurrection F, the movies. They went with the movie versions. So that's why I think GT is definitely not going to be the next season pass going forward. As much as it would be cool to see Season 4 in this gameplay, and how you would fight against Baby and whatnot, Great Ape Baby especially, he would look really cool in this game. It's very, very unlikely we're gonna get GT. But so my prediction is, how could they expand this second season pass? How do we go from Bardock to someone else? Will they make the season pass to a Bardock trilogy, because like I said, there's 2 more extras to this piece season pass. Will we see Bardock then at the end of this first story end up into the episode of Bardock storylines? He gets transported to when he fought Chilled, and then the third part somehow ends up with Toa and Mira, because it is said, I want to say in the manga, someone came out. I'm not sure where I read this from. The events of episode of Bardock would have happened to then lead up to Toa and Mira capturing him. I'll have to see if I can find a source for that. They were meant because in the events of Xenoverse, I think, if you remember, Toa and Mira were trying to capture Bardock. He was sent to the wrong timeline, hence why episode of Bardock happened against Chilled, and then eventually Toa and Mira did manage to find him and bring him over to their side. Hence, Timebreaker Bardock was born. So, I swear I heard that somewhere. I'm not sure where, but that's how episode of Bardock sort of fits in, and how Bardock can still become Super Saiyan. Even Super Saiyan was teased in Xenoverse 2, if you remember, in one of the later DLC stories, when you're trying to stop Few from meddling with time and such. So I think that's part of the future Gohan story. I'm not too sure. Because I haven't played all the Topo arc. I'm not sure. I haven't played the recent stories of Xenoverse 2 yet. So only up to Topo, I think. But yeah, that could either happen. We might get a Bardock trilogy there, and how like Bardock probably survived against Toa and Mira, and we'll just see that in Kakarot somehow. So obviously, if you remember, Bardock went missing against Mira, and he turns to Super Saiyan 3 against Mira and fought him, and then out of nowhere he just vanished after that. So hopefully they expand that on this, because we've seen Android 21 and Toa and Mira in this, just out of nowhere, and Toa and Mira. It's led to believe that Toa and Mira in Kakarot was sort of leading up to Xenoverse 1. No. Or was it? Or was it after? No, it was before, because Mira was trying to get energy to get stronger. So they appeared at different times. I'm not sure. But there is a link to Kakarot and Xenoverse because of Toa and Mira. So that's my theory of how this Season Pass 2 would go. I doubt they'll do any of the manga stuff. I'm not going to spoil anything, just in case none of you have read it. But my other theory is, let's say this first part of the deal of Season Pass 2 is Bardock, the father of Goku, whatever. If we're led to believe that they're just going to do Z-based storylines and somehow semi-canonized storylines, my theory is that the best way they could do it, I don't think there's going to be Dragon Ball Super content, at least not many, because for Dragon Ball Super to work, you would have to do the whole like arc again. And there's just so much for that just to be. There's too much of that to be a DLC. It has to be another new game entirely. Goku Black, Tournament of Power, Universe 6, all that. So my guess is they'll probably either skip ahead of all that, and it just leads into Broly. And they'll do a brief summary of that Super did happen eventually after Kakarot. I don't know. And they'll just skip straight to Broly, because I don't think we haven't had Broly be in this yet. We've got Bardock in it now, and we have a history of Bardock and Broly being the main characters to be included in a game. You can't have a Dragon Ball game without Bardock and Broly being in it. So they will somehow bring in Broly into the mix. I very much doubt they'll do original Broly. I'll be very surprised to do the original movie Broly, because that technically isn't canon anymore, thanks to Dragon Ball Super Broly. So my guess is to probably just skip ahead just for the fan service to play Dragon Ball Super just to fight Broly, and play as Vegeta Blue, which would be really cool. Imagine that fight in this game would be so awesome, especially in the volcanic area. That, and maybe Superhero, just to like sort of advertise that movie a bit more, just to get that hype train, just to keep that hype train going. I don't know, since Xenoverse 2 is now bringing in superhero characters now. Either that, I'm sort of keeping that theory a lot more lower than the Bardock theory, because again, it's skipping ahead of Super, so there'll be kind of a gap there. I don't know. But that's the only other theory I can think of what they could do next for a season pass. My other theory is that they could have some otherworld stories when Goku was in Otherworld for 7 years, and this would be a really good way to bring in Piccolo and hopefully canonize him, make him do the Otherworld tournament arc. I think that'd be a really cool add-on to the game, and they can just do so much of it and just sort of change it up a bit than the original anime did. You can fight all those random characters that Goku faced in the tournament power. Perhaps play as Piccolo, I don't know, who knows, that'd be really cool. But add some secret characters to it or something to the tournament, you know? Somehow have Raditz be involved, I don't know, even though that wouldn't work because he would be in hell, but like just really change it up, make it as wacky as they could for that tournament. But that'd be a really cool way to expand on that, without sort of ruining the canonization of the original story. Piccolo is an easy fit for this game because of the time gap between Cell games and Majin Buu. So that's another idea I think they should do. My other couple of theories is that they could do, I very much doubt it, but like if they really wanted to, do the Garlic Jr. arc that was in Z, and you play as Kid Gohan, Piccolo and whatnot, and have Garlic Jr.'s minions with them, or Bojack Unbound set after Cell games. That's an easy fit you could do. Very much doubt Garlic Jr. because I wasn't really well loved as much, and obviously they didn't keep it for Dragon Ball Z Kai, so that's kind of like not really a mandatory arc to put in, but that's just a theory of what they could do next, because without it sort of ruining everything else. I don't know if that makes sense. Otherwise, the only other thing I can think of, but then again, that would need to be an entirely new game. If they somehow do Dragon Ball, so as in Kid Goku days, that's the only other thing I could think of. But for that to happen, I think that most likely needs to be its own game entirely. So like a prequel to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Otherwise, yeah, I don't really know what else they could do for this DLC. Like, I keep seeing people wanting GT online, and I very much doubt it that GT is going to be a thing. The only other thing I think of, if they really wanted to do the Super manga right now, but I doubt they'll do that because with rumors of the anime returning next year, that's most likely being saved for the anime before they ever put it in a game. So with like Moro and Granola and whatnot. So yeah, that's something I'm going to debunk as well. So until the anime comes out, but yeah. So the possibility of a Bardock trilogy, possibility of the Otherworld tournament arc being a thing, and possibly a Bojack Unbound secret storyline. Who knows? Those are the obvious choices I can think of that they could do next for these next two stories for Season Pass 2 after Bardock, or the next Season Pass. So otherwise, I don't know what they have planned. No idea what we could be expecting here. I don't know what they could do next. So, I mean, a part of me kind of wants to see Wrath of the Dragon, because that could be an easy fit. They just have to like sort of get rid of the whole Trunks gets his sword from Tapion deal. I don't know. If they really want to be wacky for this game, then go for it. I don't see why not. But then that would sort of go back to what I said earlier with this game just doing canonized or semi-canonized arcs. So Wrath of the Dragon probably out the window. But if they really wanted to, and technically it's still canon, you could do Son Goku and his friends return, which included Tarbell, introducing Vegeta's brother. And Tarbell is still referenced in Super. I'm pretty sure he was still mentioned in Super. No, yeah. I want to say Broly referenced Tarbell, Dragon Ball Super Broly. I'm pretty sure. Obviously, Battle of Gods, he was first mentioned in that. in the movie. But I could have sworn he was mentioned in the anime at some point. He was definitely canonized again. I'm pretty sure there was definitely a word of mouth of Vegeta mentioning his brother again. Can't remember when it was. I really hope I'm not wrong on that, because otherwise that's another thing. That's the only other thing I could think of what they could do next. Introduce Tablet's brother, expand on that maybe, give it a bit more, give more of an expansion on it, him leading to Earth maybe, I don't know. Have a bit more happen in it. I don't know, just really make it wacky. I don't know, just no, because obviously Dragon Z Kakarot, they've tweaked up a few of these arcs now and then, and that's what I really enjoyed about the game. Although it was going through canonization, a lot of things were tweaked. Even like History of Trunks, not History of Trunks. No, it was History of Trunks. When you fight Dabura and whatnot, that was slightly tweaked to what was said in the Super anime. When Trunks was talking about his face off with Dabura and to not release Majin Buu. In the game, it was sort of changed up a bit. So it's not the first time they've sort of changed up the arcs, just sort of get more out of them than how the original manga and anime did. So don't see why they couldn't do it. Why, if they want to expand more on the Tarball story, that'd be really cool. And then sort of do an extra story of where he went off afterwards, after that special. Again, overthinking, probably won't do it, because Tarball just doesn't seem to be around anymore, just only mentioned once or twice, and that's it. Don't know whatever happened to him, don't know why they decanonize him, if he is decanonized, or why they just won't show him. But yeah, that's the only other thing I could think of. Otherwise, that's all I have to say. Like I said, very doubt, as much as I love to see GT as well as other people do, I have a feeling that just won't happen. I don't know, unless they confirm it's a different timeline and it doesn't relate to the events of Kakarot, because obviously it can't if they wanted to do Super. Then that's the only way they could do it, but very unlikely if they're just going with canonized like events. So who knows? I won't give up hope. They have surprised us with this game, to be honest. I did not expect Bardock. I did not expect an extra story to be involved in this game, let alone the original Bardock special to be the one to tell. So yeah, who knows what they got in store for us. Looking forward to surprises they have in store. So with that, I'm gonna end this here, guys. Thank you for watching this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments below what your wish list is for Dragon Z Kakarot. What do you want to see? Do you want to see GT more than anything else? Did you like my theories of Bardock trilogy being a thing? Do you want to see more of the movie stuff? There's another thing. If they really wanted to canonize Cooler in some way, just do it for the game. I don't know. Whatever they do, I just want to see Cooler canonized for once. I like the idea of Frieza having a brother, and Cooler was a badass. Please bring him in somehow. Don't know how, but somehow. Maybe Bardock would have one as a Cooler in this trilogy if that's the theory I'm going with. Or whatever they've got planned for this next two. Who knows? There's another thing. Cooler. Please. Yes, do you want to see Cooler? Do you agree with the theories I mentioned? Are there any other arcs you want to see other than what I've said? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for more movies in the future. Please drop a like if you enjoyed the video today as well. And I'll see you all next time. Take care, guys, and have a fantastic day.